Did you know that thousands of people spend years trying to find a UK sponsor, sending hundreds of CVs, facing rejection after rejection, while some entrepreneurs are legally moving to the UK by opening their own branch office instead? And the most shocking part, many people still don't even know this visa route exists. So today we are talking about one of the most powerful but underrated UK immigration pathways, the UK expansion worker visa. Have you guys heard of it? Well, this route allows overseas business owners and senior professionals to expand their company into the UK and relocate legally with their family. No dependency on random employers, no endless sponsorship hunt. You control your own journey. But here's the reality. The Home Office has strict rules. There are salary thresholds, sponsor license requirements, business eligibility checks, and one small mistake can lead to refusal. So, in today's podcast, we are breaking everything down step by step with immigration expert Amil from MAK25 Immigration, where we will discuss how this visa actually works, who qualifies for it, how to open a UK branch office, whether this route can lead to ILR and British citizenship, common mistakes to avoid, and whether recent UK political changes could impact business immigrations in the future. Trust me, if you dream to move to the UK through businesses, entrepreneurship, or self-sponsored pathways, you do not want to miss this conversation. So let's get started by introducing you guys to Amil. Hey Amil, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. But today we are not going to start with your introduction because my audience already knows who you are.
Of course.
Okay, so we are going to jump in today's topic, which is about one of the visa category which people don't know about. I read somewhere that there are around 26 visa categories in the UK.
Yeah.
So one of the visa categories that we are going to talk about is UK expansion worker visa. So what is it about, and why people don't talk about it, and who is it for?
See, as the name suggests, UK expansion worker is a part of global mobility routes, GBM as we say, which was introduced in 2022. And it replaces all the old business visa what we have. So expansion worker replaces the overseas representative visa, where obviously people from overseas company used to come and set up the company over here and then establish their footprint in United Kingdom. Basically, it is for overseas company which is not based in the UK as yet, which is not trading as yet, do not have any footprint. They are based, let's say, in India, Europe, US, any different part of the world, and they want to start something of their own in United Kingdom as a subsidiary. So it is basically for the businesses who wants to come to the UK and expand their business, not just in different parts of the world, but specifically in UK.
Is there any particular kind of business, or it can be any kind of business?
It could be any kind of business. There is no such restrictions as far as the business and the categories and industries are concerned. When we talk about UK expansion visa, it only based on the fact that how long the company which is based overseas has been already established. And I believe there would be many questions coming up, so I'll leave it to that.
Yeah. Let's straight get into the example. For example, say I have a small business back in India, and if I would expand in the UK, first of all, how do I know I'm eligible? Do I need to be trading? Of course, trade in the India. How much should it be in terms of finance? How much should I be earning or making revenue out of it? What are the financial aspect of it?
See, there are many different parts of that, but let's talk about the eligibility first. It's not about the size of the business. It's about how long the business have been established overseas. The mandatory requirement for a UK expansion worker sponsor license is at least 3 years. So let's say if you have got a travel business back in India, it needs to be at least be established for the last 3 years, having a good commercial value as well. And then, it depends on the fact that who you want to send in the company as far as the UK entity is concerned. So the number one thing is the overseas visas need to be established for at least 3 years outside of the UK, where there are few exceptions for Japanese and Australian companies where the 3 years requirement is waived off and they are only required to have just 1 year of establishment overseas because they have got their trade agreement. Part 2, if your company has been registered for like 3 years in overseas, then the mandatory requirement is the UK entity should not be established in terms of trading. You can just register in company's house, you can take a premise, but you should not start trading it. The day you start the trading the company, as far as the UK is concerned, you are not eligible for expansion anymore. So there is no expansion, the trading requirement for this specific visa.
Can you talk about it more? So I don't understand. So say I have travel business, say back in India, you said your business needs to be running for 3 years back in your country, right? And with some kind of revenue, you said, it should be trading.
Yeah.
And if I want to expand in the UK, so once I register, I also need to apply for a license, like the skilled worker visa. If you want to hire anybody immigrant, you need to have a license. So I need to apply for a license.
Exactly.
Once the license is there, I can start working here. Then working means I need to trade here as well, right? Because I'm expanding.
Exactly.
So that trading, you said, you should not trade. What do you mean?
It's part 2 of that. So let's say you start the company over here in the UK. After all the requirements have been met, you got a UK expansion license. After getting the UK expansion license, you want to send somebody who's based overseas. Let's say I'm your employee. I have been working with you for the past 1 year. So you would be sending me and my requirement is I need to be at least working for you at least 1 year in your company back home. So there is no waive off as far as this requirement is concerned. Once you get an expansion license, now you say, Amil, now you should go to the UK, you should expand my business, and you should make sure that in the UK our business has been expanding really well. So this is the most important part. But as far as the license is concerned, before getting the license, you should not start your trading off.
Correct.
That is the mandatory requirement.
Yeah. Okay. And is there any difference in terms of UK expansion license versus applying for a skilled worker license? Is it the same thing or is it a different thing?
Huge difference.
Oh, huge difference.
It's a huge difference because skilled worker license is very common. What our businesses stands for normally. Skilled worker licenses are basically for people who wants to settle down in the country. It's for a long term. But when you talk about expansion license is only applicable to one individual for maximum number of 2 years. So let's say if you get an expansion license and you hire me as a CEO in your company in the UK, my first grant of visa would be at least 12 months and it would be only extendable for another 1 year. After 2 years, I have to go back, or else your company needs to apply for a skilled worker license, switch to a different category, and then from expansion worker, I will be switched to skilled worker. So the major requirement is none of your employee could be here based in the UK on a permanent basis.
But if I send you here for say 1 year or 2 year, you can go back to India and then I can send another employee, right? That's possible, right?
Yes.
But that same person cannot stay here for longer than 2 years,
yes,
right? That's the maximum duration given.
Exactly.
Okay. So the validity of the visa which is issued is basically 2 years. Yeah. And then you can send multiple people as well, right? Depending on the size of the business and what you want them to do here in the UK, depend on the role.
Of course.
So there can be multiple people, but maximum duration is 2 years and then they need to go back. So if they go back, is there any kind of cooling period? So if I have to send you back again, say after 1 year or so, is there any cooling?
Unfortunately not. And the maximum number of people you can have on the UK expansion license, before it was 5, but in March they have changed the rules to 10.
Oh, I didn't know. That's a good thing then.
Yeah. There was in the guidance. I was just reading last night. It was 5, but they switched to 10. I think as far as UK expansion is concerned, what the Home Office has said about it, they want UK like big hospitality businesses, real estate businesses who wants to expand in the country. They should come here and expand, but on a limited phase. They do not want this to be a route to a settlement.
Yes, that's why there's nothing called ILR for them. That's why they're here for 2 years, go back. And then after cooling period, they can come back. After cooling period, they can come back.
After cooling off period, no. The same individual cannot come back in a UK expansion. If they want to come back, you can switch to a skilled worker license and you can call them on a skilled worker.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Interesting. Very interesting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is there any type of guideline mentioned on the government portal in terms of how much revenue your company should be making back in your country to be eligible for UK expansion visa? Is there any kind of guidelines mentioned there?
Very interesting question. I think we had a consultation a couple of weeks back on the same thing with a UAE based company. Last year we did again one UK expansion from UAE as well. So there is no specific revenue. There is no specific as far as the funds are concerned. The only requirement is business establishment needs to be at least 3 years. But whatever expansion you plan to have in United Kingdom, you need to have a proper business plan. You need to show that how it would be commercially viable for this country. As far as the taxation is concerned, how it's going to increase and contribute to UK economy. That's what they want to see. So they have not set any number as yet. As I told you earlier, there is no specific size of business like small, medium, or large. But you should be very strong enough where you have already established outside of the UK.
Okay. And if they are here for, say, for 2 years, is there any cutoff the government say after that you need to apply for skilled worker visa, or since you have already made a business of, I don't know, 1 million, 2 million or something,
Yeah.
then you need to move to skilled worker license? Is there any kind of cutoff given or rules around it?
See, there is no cutoff specifically for the company or for the UK expansion worker. There is only cutoff for the specific individual who's coming on a UK expansion, and the number of people you can bring in. And just circling back to the finance part, you said, in order to hire somebody on a UK expansion worker, let's say I'm coming as a CEO, my minimum salary needs to be £52,500.
Oh,
Yeah.
so because his title is CEO, that's why £52,000, or
No.
anyone, irrespective
No.
of any role that you give,
No.
that is the minimum salary you're
That's
saying.
the minimum flow rate. Let's say for skilled worker we have got 41,700.
Yes, correct.
So this flow rate is 52,500.
Okay.
The SOC code are exactly the same. They are also performing on RQF level 6, and exactly same table we need to use, but the flow salary should be 52,500. Even if the going rate is less, you always need to consider 52,500. That's very important.
That's a higher salary bracket.
Yeah.
In terms of English language, you said in your introduction, there's no English language requirement for people to apply for this
there
visa.
isn't. No.
And just your passport and other identity,
Yes.
maybe something.
Your salary pay slips
Salary
for
pay
the last
slips.
1 year with the overseas company.
Yes, that's right.
Your bank statement which shows that the money is going in your bank account, which should match the pay slips. There is one exception which nobody talks about, which we identified in practicality. So there was a company, again based in the UAE, because the UAE people are expanding very rapidly in the country. So they recently hired somebody in the country, but obviously the requirement of 12 months is only waived off if that individual is being paid £73,900. £73,900.
So if you get a salary of 73,900
£900,
pounds,
that 1 year is waived off, the 1 year requirement. So let's say if you hire me recently and you just hire me for the sake of sending me to the United Kingdom, then you need to pay me £73,900.
And for how many years then?
Till the time I'm here, for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Interesting clause.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you see more people from UAE coming and they want to expand the business? They are choosing expansion worker visa.
2 countries I am seeing a lot. One is UAE, of course, and one is the US.
US as well?
Yeah.
Oh, they're quite
Both.
interested.
Yeah.
Okay. So when the clients reach out to you, what do you tell them? UK expansion worker versus self-sponsorship visa. Which one do you suggest them to go for?
See, I'll tell you something. There is a huge difference between when we talk about self-sponsorship and when we talk about the UK expansion, because the company has already established a brand in India and they want the same brand to come to United Kingdom. In self-sponsorship, that is not possible. You cannot make a subsidiary of your own company over here. But as far as UK expansion is concerned, I'm taking a specific travel company which has been established for the last, let's say, 20 years. I want that same brand to be established in the UK and I want to prolong on that. And then later on, you can switch to skilled worker and you can make it a permanent one in the country itself.
Just calling out one example. Yesterday or day before yesterday, I just saw an Instagram reel that Haldiram's, which is a big brand back in India. Okay, I
Yeah.
love Haldiram. I eat a lot of Haldiram when I'm back.
Yeah.
Now they are expanding in the UK. This is the first time they are opening a branch in the UK. Haldiram's.
I visited them.
They have not yet opened here. Back in India.
Yeah.
Back in India, everybody, they love Haldiram.
Yeah.
I'm a big Haldiram
Yeah.
fan. So, you know what I was thinking when I saw it? What visa did they apply? That was the first thing I was thinking. Now I'm already thinking they cannot apply for self-sponsorship visa because they're already a brand. They have established
course.
themselves. So it will be UK expansion worker visa.
Of course.
But again, you're saying only 10 people are allowed. So to run that business of Haldiram, I don't think they can do with 10 people. Of course, the managerial level people would
Yeah,
be
of
there,
course, yeah.
but they can hire local people like say waiter and waitress as well, and a cook and chef.
Of
That is
course.
allowed,
Yeah,
right?
that is allowed. That is
Okay.
allowed. And you know what? One thing you need to understand, initially they can send some high-ranking people, as you rightly said, to establish the company. And once they feel that these people are doing well, they can switch to skilled worker. And those people can be permanently over here in the UK to set up the business for a very long term.
Yeah. Then Haldiram need to register and apply for a license
As a subsidiary.
Subsidiary.
And then apply for this specific
Yeah.
UK expansion
And
license.
can at a time this company, again say Haldiram, we're talking about so much Haldiram.
Yeah.
So then can they have two licenses, one for a skilled worker license and another for
Yes.
they can
My
have
UAE
both.
client have two licenses. So when I applied,
Okay.
when I worked for them last year, they came because they're a workspace company. They are office space companies. So they bought two buildings now in London for the office space. They have the same business back in Dubai as well. So now they are applying for a skilled worker license as well, because they want few people to be permanently over here and expand the business.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, then you guys can have two roles
Yes.
here. Start with the UK expansion worker visa, and then if you have already proved your worth, maybe your company will apply your skilled worker visa if they have
Exactly.
managed to get a license. I didn't know
Exactly.
that. Good. I learned something new.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We did something new.
Oh,
So-
yes, this topic is completely new.
Yeah.
I had never touched upon this topic from my memory, I think, no. And this is the first time I'm at least making the first video with Amil on this topic.
Expansion, yeah.
More than happy to cover more in depth if you think we have
Of
not
course.
covered. This is
Yeah.
something new for me. And I'm sure you guys are also learning something new. So, question. So, on UK expansion worker, they can bring their dependents,
Yes,
their
100%.
partner, children,
Yeah,
for 2 years with the English language, no English language.
No English language.
And they also have the same rights here, like they can work.
Exactly.
And children can also
Education,
study, and use NHS because they'll be paying the NHS fees
Of
at the
course,
time
yes.
when they apply.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. Interesting.
Two financial good points. First, as we pay immigration skills charge,
Yeah.
so that is completely exempted for UK expansion workers. They don't need to pay the immigration skills
Skills
charge,
charge.
which is £480 a
Yeah.
year. That is one thing. And the second most important part, as well as the finance is concerned, though the salary brackets have been high, but 52,500 is not too high when you talk about big brands. So normally they can afford, and now the way we are moving ahead, obviously it would be a bit more, but I don't feel that 52,500 is a bit more stretch as far as big brands are concerned.
Yeah, and especially if they are already planning to expand, I'm sure they know how
Yeah.
much is the average salary, maybe for that particular kind of role.
Of course.
If you're sending a senior person,
Yeah.
and for senior and that kind of expertise
Yeah.
require that kind of talent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But you already mentioned that for that person needs to work in that company for minimum 1 year to be eligible for UK expansion
Exactly.
worker,
Yes.
right? And they
Yes.
need to submit their payslip, bank statement,
statements.
offer letter as well, maybe.
Yeah,
as
a
as
letter from the
evidence.
company as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
everything.
Yes,
Okay.
they need to.
Perfect. Great. So moving to the next one, I would like to understand the first practical steps anybody should take after watching this video. So say I'm a small business person back in India with a travel company with
Right.
some kind of revenue I'm making. I have 4 or 5 people working for me. Now I want to expand in the UK. After watching this podcast, I want you to tell them clearly couple of points that they should be, or step-by-step guide that they should be following.
Number one thing, expanding in the UK is not just about registering on company's house. So firstly, they need to do the internal audit back in India, as a travel business, how long they have been established. Do they have the financial capabilities in order to pay the salary as far as the UK is concerned?
Correct.
That is very important. Thirdly, if they want to choose a specific individual to send to the UK, make sure that specific individual is only focusing on the UK operations, because what normally happens, I have seen, whoever they select, that individual goes in and out of the country, who looks after the Indian operation as well as the UK operation. So you need to have somebody who should only look for the UK operation and not something else. So that is the third most important thing I always believe, choosing a right candidate for this expansion workers, because license is not the ultimate aim. You actually need to send somebody to establish the operation. So that is very important. Fourth thing, you have to make a proper business plan and justify it to the home office, because Home office is only giving you the license on the basis of what you have been doing back home. You don't have any trading activities, you don't have any contracts or anything like that. So that commercial viability is very important, that if you are sending one individual and afford this kind of a salary, how much you have in revenue, because obviously they are not giving you a particular number, but still the commercial viability is very, very important. Fifth and the most important part, do not start trading, and at least have an operation plan as well apart from the business plan. In the next 5 years, how does your business looks like as far as your expansion is concerned? So these are the few steps I always believe that the client should understand if they are based in any part of the world, if they are maybe into IT services, financial companies, or hospitality, as we discuss about Haldiram. So these companies obviously need to do the own internal audit and then start step by step, and have a good accountant and an immigration advisor, I would say.
Yes, I was about to ask you one question. While you were talking, there was something else which I was thinking. Now, there are companies who are using global mobility visa.
Yeah.
The old name was Intercompany Transfer Visa.
Yes,
And
yes.
this is UK expansion visa.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like very similar. Why will I send someone on UK expansion worker visa versus when should I send someone on global mobility visa?
See, global mobility visa have got 6 categories.
Okay.
Okay. Expansion worker and intra-company transfer is now known as senior and specialist worker visa. Both are different in its own aspect. Okay. When we are talking about intra-company transfer, both the companies at both the places are well established. Right. In UK expansion worker, this company, the UK operation have not started yet. But when we are talking about GBM intra-company transfer, this company operations is as good as the Indian operations as well. That's when you believe for this IT project, you're sending one individual from India to UK to work on the specific project and then come back. Whereas UK expansion, you're doing everything from scratch. So that's what you need to remember. And whatever GBM routes you choose, always remember none of the GBM leads to ILR. So once you're choosing one GBM route, always think about skilled workers so that you can have a permanent solution for your UK operations as well.
That's a good information. So, Amil, do you think the companies who are now sending the candidates on intra-company transfer, which is a global mobility, did they also start with a UK expansion thing? Because when the company was not established, they would have sent somebody here. So, on what visa they would have sent?
See, the company who are already established here in the UK, at that point of time, GBM never used to exist.
Yeah,
You know, GBM never used to exist. At that point of time, it was a tier 1 visas, you know.
Yes.
It was based on tier 1. So we had tier 2, which is now a skilled worker visa. Tier 1 was all kind of different visa categories.
You're right.
And you know, overseas representative was also a part of it. So it was very scattered, but now the home office has made it very streamlined as far as these things are concerned.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me, because I think I'm losing my memory in terms of what are the different various visa categories existed before.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much so far. Just one last question before we wrap today's podcast.
Yeah.
So, what do you think with everything happening around in the UK, especially around immigration, is it the right time for the companies to come and expand their business? Do you think it's right time or no?
It seems like a question from my consultation.
You can give a free consultation to my audience then.
Yeah, of course. I would love to. The thing is that UK have started this kind of GBM route, specifically UK expansion, because they actually want brands to start their operations in the UK. And UK business visas, when we talk about GBMs, are never under political pressure because it never leads to settlement.
Correct.
So there is no problem with the immigrants. They know if they want somebody to, you know, be permanent here in the country, they have to switch to a skilled worker route, which is under political pressure. But if they just want to start the operation, they want to make a footprint, and then they would just go back. It's never under the political pressure. That's the reason it's not even in the white paper, any of the GBM routes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why it's good time to come and expand your business
Of
in
course.
the UK.
Yeah, I definitely recommend to people to look beyond self-sponsorship, to look beyond skilled worker sponsor license, and actually think about starting your own operations. If you're successfully doing well back home, then I think it's time to come to UK.
Awesome. Okay. So I think I kind of asked all the questions that I think I would like to understand or learn more about it. And I think my audience as well. If you think there are more questions, if there's no further clarity on certain aspects, maybe finance bit or maybe regarding the eligibility, you guys can let me know. And I think this was a good session for me. At least I learned few bits, and I'm going to explore this further. Maybe I'm going to do a little deep research in terms of how many more companies are here or using this UK expansion visa. I don't know if those numbers are already published on the ONS or not, but I'm going to have a read about it.
Yeah,
okay.
Same here. Let's see.
Let's do it. Yes, okay. Thank you so much, Amil. Any final thoughts before we wrap up today's podcast?
I think as far as the UK expansion is concerned, for me, finance is the most important part.
Yeah.
So make sure your finance is very strong, because now, irrespective of the categories we apply for a sponsor license, Home Office is very reluctant as far as the finance is concerned, because a lot of money is on stake for the operation. That's not just for the salaries, but for the operation you need a huge amount of capital. So I think make sure you're financially capable enough and you're able to justify to the Home Office your plans. That would be my only practical tip.
Thank you. So if you guys want help from Amil, all the links are provided in my video description. Go and take all the legal help you need. He's already helping some of my existing clients. Thank you very much, Amil, and all the best to you.
Thank you, Saria. Thank you, everyone.